Hey guys, Magnus Robert here. So every year I do this little video thing where I rank all the films nominated for an Academy Award. And this is the third time in a row I've done it. Now usually I do this in a video where it's properly edited and I use trailer footage and I rank them from worst to best and I give my thoughts, and it's fairly well edited. It's not scripted, but it's an edited video. It's a bit more high value than this. But the videos don't do particularly well anyway. They get about 1,000 views. So I figured, why put that effort in, especially because I have a large project going at the moment. And maybe next year I'll do it again and I'll edit it all properly and it will be a lovely video like it has been the previous 2 years. But this year, unfortunately, just because I'm constrained due to time, I'm going to be ranking them with the tier maker. Now, like I said, I do this every single year. Well, I try to. I've done it this is my third year being successful, although I have attempted it previous years. But to be honest, for about a decade, I've watched every film that's nominated for Best Picture, at least, or at least I've tried to. But now I do it. I'm a part of the death race, as they call it, the Oscar death race. There's a whole subreddit community. It's pretty cool. They're very good for trying to find films that you aren't very available for people in the UK. Now, listen, I try my best to watch all these films legitimately. If they're on VOD, I'll buy them. If they're in cinema, I'll go to cinema and watch them. But there's a few that I may or may not have done something very bad to obtain, okay? But that's only because I really do want to watch them. And I'll support them at a later date with my hard-earned cash. Apart from some of the big name films, I mean, I don't really care about some of them. But for obviously for like smaller studios and stuff, I will always try my best to support as a inspiring filmmaker myself. So anyway, let's get into it and be ranking them. Now, I'm going to do the shorts and the features separately. We'll go with the features first, and maybe at the end we can talk about what's been nominated for awards and what I think deserves each one and which do I think will win each one. I was dead wrong last year. I'll be dead wrong this year. And last year I had a bunch of people in the comments being like roasting the shit out of me for getting stuff wrong, but that's okay. Anyway, let's go for Jurassic World Rebirth. This is, in my opinion, the worst of all of the features that have been nominated for an award. It's nominated for Best Visual Effects, and to be honest, I don't think it's entirely undeserving of that award, but this film was particularly long. We're on an island again. We're chasing dinos away with flares again. Characters are all very generic. I couldn't tell you a single thing about any of them, not gonna lie to you. Yeah, not a great film. I didn't even realize there was even a new Jurassic World until the ceremony nominations came out. That's how confused I was. So, do not recommend it. Very generic, very boring. Not great. We got Diane Warren, Relentless. This is a documentary nominated for Best Song. Of course, Diane Warren herself being nominated. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think Diane Warren is very deserving of an Oscar for all she's done. She's a very impressive artist, right? She's wrote a lot of famous songs. A lot of songs have been written that have been nominated for Oscars, but she has yet been granted a proper Academy Award, although she got a ceremonial one, which doesn't really count. No one cares about them. So this film has been made as Oscar bait. This is the most Oscar bait film I can think of. Now, there's a whole like 10-minute section of the documentary which is specifically about the fact that she never got an Oscar, and I found that part particularly grating for me because it did feel like, you know, like the documentary is just there to be eligible for her to win an award, and she very well may actually win the award. And that irks me. It just irks me because like you're making it specifically to earn an award, and I don't know if I like that as a concept. Yeah. Anyway, even putting that aside, I found the documentary not particularly interesting. She's definitely very talented, but her life is not exactly exciting. You know, it's just this lady who lives alone. She's got some cats. She's pretty kooky. She's she's autistic. She's a bit annoying sometimes, sure, but I mean overall, like an endearing figure. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think her documentary was particularly that interesting, and so second worst for me. Also, as a caveat, I just want to say, ignore these like rankings. I hate the stupid rankings. I'm just kind of ranking them from worst to best and giving my opinions. So don't ignore where I've placed them specifically. Comment on my opinions if you must, but that's okay. Yes, do comment. That helps me in the algorithm. What am I saying? We've got Avatar, Fire and Ash. Yeah. Not great. Not great at all. I found this was just repeating a lot of the beats of the second film. And I was never a huge fan of the first film. I think visually it's fucking beautiful. Don't get me wrong. The second film I found very pleased to look at, I guess. But I wasn't that big on it. I just find them dull and long. And I found this one to be the worst. Again, we're repeating the same beats. That fucking, the Colonel guy, whatever he's called, I don't even remember their names. Okay, I don't care. The main villain who was in the first one and then came back as a blue person in the second one and now is back again as the villain and also has I guess a fake out death in this film. Jesus Christ, can we put a villain to rest? He's boring now. He's not even exciting anymore. I guess they're going to redeem him. That's the plan they've got. The actor who plays Spider cannot act to save his life, or at least he's very poorly directed in this film, and that took me out of the film a lot. Some of the effects are actually not that great. A lot of the fire effects are very janky. I found the new villain, the fire lady, a bit annoying. Yeah, overall, not a great film. Very too long, repeating many beats that the last one did itself, and for me, not even, and some of the visual effects didn't even hit home. So that's just not great. James Cameron, I'm sorry, but you got to do better, man. Also, I found a lot of it very forgettable. Next up, we've got Elio. Yeah, you know what? It's not even the worst Pixar film I've ever seen. It's just very generic. It's this kid. He's speaking to aliens. He heads off to Alien World, where all these aliens look very different. I guess he's like some ambassador to Earth, and then he befriends some slug thing. And that's the film. I've forgotten most of it. Like, yeah, to be honest, just didn't really capture me. I found it a bit more entertaining than some of these, than the three below it, but generic. I think that's the best word to describe it. It felt very generic. Didn't feel like it took any big risks, really. Not big on it. Not big on it. Next up, The Lost Bus. Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey, nominated for Best Visual Effects. And do you know what? I might say it. I think Lost Bus probably does deserve it. What is great about this film is, I think, the claustrophobia that it inhabits. There's like lots of scenes where the characters are, this is about this big fire, this ravaged California. And it's crazy because it's like pitch black within the smoke, right? Within the smoke plumes. And that's essentially what the visual effects is in this film. Is this guy who's got a bus full of school kids trying to escape the smoke plumes and get to safety. And I think it's an intense film, but it does feel very B-movie. And at the times it felt like it just kind of went into B-movie territory. Like all the relationship stuff with his family, nobody really cares for. A lot of the scenes of him like getting to work, I think, were very much dragged out. Some of the hoorah scenes, like we got to do better. Some of those scenes felt a bit on the nose. But I did generally like a lot of this film. Don't get me wrong. And even now, I'm second guessing putting it this low, but I'm going based on my rating at the time, so we'll just stick with that. But I actually remember this film a lot, and I did find it very fun at times, very intense at times, but it also did feel cheap at times. So that's the best way I can put it. But I think if you're not a big film person, you probably would enjoy this film, but it does feel weird that Matthew McConaughey was in it. Anyway, next up, we've got K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, listen, if you like this film a lot, I get it. I am not a K-pop fan or an anime fan or anything like that. Anything that comes from like Japan and Korea, animation wise, not or media wise, not big on apart from live action stuff. Like I like live action live action Korean films. I don't know so much about Japanese films. I've not watched that many live action Japanese films, but not really big on like anime. But this is like a Western K-pop thing anyway, right? So I guess there's that. Now, some of the songs are catchy. That Golden song, I wouldn't be mad if that won. It's a catchy song. Is it a generic song? I don't know. I'm not big on music. Probably. It sounds pretty generic, but yeah, I know. I didn't hate the film. It is about there's these three pop stars, or they're K-pop stars. They're girls, and then they also fight demons, I guess, with their music and stuff. I'm trying my best to remember the film. This was one of the first ones I watched because I wanted to get it out of the way. And the main girl is a demon, and then she meets this other demon guy, and these demon guys were sent to be a rival boy band, and some shenanigans ensue. That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil it too much. Yeah, I thought it was okay at times. Just entirely not for me, so that's why it's so low. Best thing I can say. Let's go for the next one. F1 the movie. Again, another film that probably just isn't for me. I liked it. I remember there was a film a couple years ago. Was it Fast vs Furious or Fast and Furious? That one? Oh no, what was it? Ford v Ferrari. Sorry, not Fast and Furious. I know what that is. Ford v Ferrari. It reminds me a lot of that film because both car films, both very energetic. Both had a lot of really good visual effects with the cars and stuff, and really good sound design as well. I mean, this film has some very good sound design, from what I remember. Not the best, though. There is better sound design out there, which we'll get to later. But all round, bit generic, and I was kind of disappointed to learn that it wasn't even based on real people. They just made up a bunch of races and be like, yeah, we're battling Lewis Hamilton in this last race. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know. I've put it this low. Wasn't for me. Ooh, I've switched it around. I'm gonna put Weapons here. Weapons is a horror film. Very surprised it even got any nomination. It's been nominated for Best Supporting Actress. It's a decent enough horror film. I think it's a step above most, but still nothing great. I like the concept, and I like some of the investigation, and I like the fact that the story, doesn't follow one single protagonist, and we kind of jump between different characters. I liked all of that, and I think the way it's presented is pretty good. The intrigue is nice, and some of the horror was pretty decent too. I don't think it's a crazy, amazing horror film or anything, but yeah, I mean, good overall. So I'm putting it here. Okay, Kokoro. I don't know if that. I think I'm saying it right. Kokoro. No, Kokuho. This film, Japanese film, an epic, really long, about these two guys. One's from a gang, and his father gets killed at the start of the film. And the other owns a not theatre, but the sort of performance family, and the biological son is kind of overshadowed by the new adopted son, who is also a member of the mafia, Yakuza. He's a Yakuza. He's a kid from the Yakuza. And I forgot a lot of the film. This was one of the first ones I watched as well, so forgive me. And it does depict most of his life as well. We go right till his old age as well. Yeah, an epic film, and you might be thinking, why is it so low? I found it very boring. Okay, that's just the long and short of it. I found it boring, but I can appreciate the cinematography in this is gorgeous. The costumes, which I think has been nominated for, is it makeup and hairstyling or costumes? One of the two, or is it the same thing now? I don't even remember what they've done. Yeah, I mean, everything stylistically about this film is great, and this is true for the next film too that will be on this list. It's just the story for me was boring, and I'm sorry. I had this a few years ago with Roma. Roma was well praised, and I can acknowledge that Roma cinematography was fucking gorgeous, but the story just didn't grasp me, and the story of this one didn't grasp me either. And it really just comes down to that, and it's unfortunate, but not every film can be for everyone. Not every film is for me, so that is what it is. And a film that's in a similar vein in this respect is Hamnet. Hamnet, I thought, was gorgeous, and the only reason I've put it a little bit above Kokoro is because the last hour kind of got me. What's really irks me about Hamnet is they pitched this film with, Hamnet, the Shakespeare's kid, dying, right? But then he doesn't die until halfway through the film, and the first half of the film is their relationship. And I felt like that kind of I didn't even know that too much about the film going in. I just know it's about Shakespeare and the death of his son. That's literally all I knew about. But going in, I was like, okay, we're going to get to the kid's not even born yet. What are we doing? And so I feel like the heart of the story was the grief and the loss of the son. And we didn't need to necessarily have hours with developing their relationship. And so I found this story a bit weird. And I know it's based on a novel too, and you can say that. It's based on a novel. My dude, it's based on a novel. Yeah, I get that. And the novel probably does... I've not read the novel, but it probably does begin in a similar vein to the film. But I think when you're adapting something, you do have to make changes that lend to the medium. But I've seen a lot of people praising this. They love it. Sometimes Chloe Zhao is a little bit hit or miss for me, but this one was a miss. Won't see it again. But I can acknowledge why people love it, and stylistically, it's pretty beautiful. But just the story wasn't for me. I'm sorry. We've got Viva Verde. Viva Verde is a documentary about this retirement home for musicians. It's pretty cute. I like it. It's not too long. It's very interesting. Something I knew literally nothing about. It's kind of a funny concept anyway, like a retirement home specifically for musicians, and dealing with their, especially a lot of them are in their old age and having memory issues and stuff like that. There's some very kooky characters in the documentary too, all of which is very sad because at the end they tell you that they pretty much all of them died apart from one. I enjoyed it. It's just not enough to put it any higher. Didn't think the subject matter was that thrilling, but enough that I didn't hate it. And I will say it, sometimes I do like a documentary that's fairly uplifting, and not about some dark doom or gloom or some dreadful injustice in the world. It is nice to have a documentary here and there about something as simple as this. Now, it's nominated for Best Song, which is interesting because it will definitely not be winning Best Song, or I very much doubt it. The Perfect Neighbor. This is a heavy documentary. It's about this lady who lived next to this white lady lives near kids, a bunch of black kids, right? And she kept perceiving the kids as being troublesome or something, right? Or not even. She was just being a nosy neighbor, and she eventually shoots and kills the mother of one of the mothers of the kids who were supposedly harassing her. And then we kind of go through the events that led up to this, and then after the shooting occurred, and then her defense of the whole stand your ground law thing. Very heavy documentary. And this sounds terrible, and I'm sorry, America, but it's so there's every year there's a racially charged shooting documentary, because there is every year a racially charged film, and there's only, I don't know, it feels weird because obviously I think that lady should be in jail and all that, don't get me wrong. But from an art perspective, I'm tired. I'm so tired of these racially injustice shootings, and I'm sure the black Americans are very much way more tired than I am. But still, it's there in the ranking. Very heavy subject. Just didn't capture me as much as some of the other films have. And some of the other Injustice films have as well. Because there's one up the list. Zootopia 2 is next. Listen, I liked it. I thought it was a decent enough sequel. It felt like it hit on some of the same beats as the first film did for me. And that's all it really comes down to. It just felt a bit too close to the first. Although I think it's better than most sequels, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. Maybe I'm just not so big on Disney. Maybe my Disney bias is kicking in. But that's where Zootopia goes. It was fun. I watched this one in cinema as well, which was always really, really not embarrassing for a man in his late 20s to go see a children's animated film with a bunch of kids in it, and I instantly regretted going to the cinemas. I thought I should have waited for the VOD, but yeah, I mean, overall I liked it. I thought it was good. Just again, it comes down to some of the other films I preferred. Blue Moon, is it a biopic? Yeah. Is it kind of generic? Yeah. But I thought it was really sweet. I knew nothing about these people, so it's about this guy who's a Neil Diamond impersonator, and it's about his life. He's an alcoholic, and he meets this lady who also is an impersonator, and they fall in love, and they have a duo act where they perform Neil Diamond songs. But he's in his own head. He's very he's very egotistical, and we kind of explore their relationship. And there's an accident that his wife goes through as well, and all the events that transpire. It's about two figures I knew nothing about, and yeah, it is a biopic, and it does follow some biopic rules here and there, but still, I thought it was fun, I thought it was lighthearted, it was nice, I liked it. Next up, speaking of biopics, we've got another one, and that one will be The Smashing Machine, if I can find the poster, and I did. Good timing. I think I like this one just a little bit more than Blue Moon. I think they're about on the same par. I think on another day, if you ask me on another day, I'd probably switch them around. But The Smashing Machine is probably The Rock's best performance. I don't know. I think it's probably up there. It's really heartfelt. It's all about this boxer. He's a boxer. What am I on about? Oh no, MMA. What am I saying? Boxer. MMA. Yeah, it's all about this MMA fighter and his trials and tribulations, his addiction to pain medication or opioids, right? And his career. I'm trying my best. Do you know what? I've actually forgotten a lot of this film. And there's some stuff with his girlfriend or his wife, and she has some pretty bad things going on. And I think he goes to Japan. I'm trying my best to remember this film, man, but I have watched 50 films, so I can't remember everything of all of them. But that's where I put it when I was ranking it, so I'm going to trust past Magnus. So that's what we'll go for. Next up, we've got... Wait, I fucked up. Blue Moon. Song Sung Blue was above Smashing Machine. Sorry. Oh, God. This is terrible. I thought I might do this, because they both got blue in the title. And, my God, what have I done? I apologise. So now I've got to find Blue Moon. Yeah, Blue Moon's here. Dialogue, so Blue Moon's actually below Smashing Machine, and Song Sung Blue is actually above Smashing Machine. Like I said, I think Smashing Machine and Song Sung Blue, which was what I was trying to talk about, are very close in their ranking. Yeah, so Blue Moon. Blue Moon is a film about this guy. He's a real guy. He's a writer, stage writer, and he's in it. Most of the film takes place in a bar, and it's just dialogue heavy. It's a dialogue heavy film, but I liked it. I thought the dialogue was really well written. The main character was really interesting. It was really fun. Very camp, but very fun regardless. Margaret Qualley's in this as well, and she was very good. I mean, yeah, overall it's a very dialogue heavy film, but it's also very entertaining. Lots of really rich dialogue. I liked it a lot. Very nice set pieces, but it just comes down to, again, I liked some of the other films a bit more. So there you go. And then you got Smash Machine. Then you got Song Sung Blue. Yeah, how dare I put the biopic above Blue Moon and Hamnet? But that's what I do sometimes. I'm just going based on my feels. If I had legs, I'd kick you. No, that's not next on my list. The next thing on my list is Come and See Me in the Good Light. So this is a documentary about this slam poetry lady, and I shouldn't say lady, slam poetry NB, and they, I apologise, are dying of cancer. I forgot about that. I forgot about the pronouns. I only remember just then, alright? Forgive me. So, yeah, they are dying of cancer. It's very emotional. And, of course, there's their girlfriend as well. And she's going through it too. And I liked a lot of the honesty and rawness that came from this film. It was a real feel hitter. And despite knowing nothing about this person, knowing nothing about their slam poetry and their art, there was an interesting window into that too. So I liked a lot of it, this film. I thought it was overall almost amazing. No, not amazing, but entertaining, very good, very fun. Not very fun, very depressing. But I liked it. So I'll put Come and See Me in the Good Light right there. Next up, we've got Mr. Nobody against Putin. Yeah, I am a little tired. Like I'm tired, I said with Perfect Neighbour, I am tired of Russian-Ukraine documentaries. But I think at the very least with this one, that's made it stand out is the perspective. I like the fact that we were doing this from a Russian perspective. Not to say that I want to see like the pro-Russian side, but from a Russian perspective of another, like a Russian victim, right? And we see throughout this whole documentary, this guy who just is the videographer for his school, or for the school he works at, how like Russia just completely transformed their schools into a propaganda machine post-war with Ukraine. And that was an interesting insight. I think the guy himself, I don't like a lot of the talking heads in the documentary, but everything else I thought was really intriguing, really interesting, and a really eye-opening look into seeing what an authoritarian government does in a wartime. So I put it there. I liked it. And I liked the fact that the guy got away in the end. That was a nice ending. Next up, Arco. Arco is a fun documentary. I liked this one a lot. Now, I watched both the French, well, I watched it in English dub, and then later on I watched it properly with the French original audio. So I've watched it twice. And I still don't remember all of it. No, I do. I remember a fair bit of it. So it's about this kid. It's actually most of the film is set in 2075, but the main character Arco is from even further in the future, and he's like a time traveler. So he comes back in time. He's actually not old enough, and he's not trained in time traveling, but he ends up time traveling back in time to 2075, where he meets this girl. And oh my god, I've already forgot her bloody name. What's her name? I can't think of her name. Anyway, he meets this girl, and they befriend each other, and obviously she tries to help him get back home, and then she eventually wants to go with him. And then there's the ending as well, which we'll get. I won't talk about, but the ending's pretty brutal as well, I think. Overall, yeah, it's a really fun animation. Looks really nice. I liked it a lot. I thought I had a lot of fun with it. I'll put it there. Okay. Next up, we've got Sinners. Sinners, yeah, that's right. I like Sinners, but I think it's a bit overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a little overrated. It's fun enough. You have these guys, these brothers, Smoke and something. What was the other one called? Smoke or something. It's Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo anyway, and it's a vampire film. But the twist is you don't know about the vampires until like halfway through the film, or just before halfway maybe, or maybe that is exactly halfway. Again, I went into this film completely blind. I had absolutely no idea what this film was about, and I will say it was quite a fun juxtaposition when we had the scene with the vampire visiting those people in their house and then end up turning them. That was a fun juxtaposition. I will say that. I was like, wait, what? I thought we were doing like a Jim Crow like serious film about like two entrepreneurs trying their best to like, make a business in this unjust world, and then suddenly we got fucking vampires. I was like, wait, what's going on here? And I think my problem is with the second act. My only issue with this film and why I don't rate it higher is the second act. It feels a bit rushed and kind of like it's chaotic. And maybe that's more realistic with how chaotic it is and in how people would react in that situation. But I don't know, it's a little contrived. Like when the one lady is like, "Come in, you sons of bitches," and now like all the vampires get to come in, and so we can have our big final battle. And then the way that they killed off, oh god, the one brother I don't know, that was a bit kind of like, I don't know, not that it came out of nowhere, but I feel like his death was dealt with a bit weirdly. Like, it didn't feel as tragic. I don't know if anyone understands what I'm feeling, like what I'm saying. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just chatting bare shit, but like, that's how I felt with it. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I would watch it again, but little crazy second act, or crazy third act, or second and third act, the second half anyway. The Alabama Solution. Okay, so talking about like injustice films before, when I was talking about Perfect Neighbor, this was the film that I think really got to me. I really do care about like prison reform. I feel like prisons in America are like torture. That's pure like awful. So, and especially like the ones in this film, Jesus Christ, like open sewage run, like, you know, flooded cells, rats in the cell that they collected like little water bottles and stuff. Like, they're crazy. Like the beatings, the deaths, the, you know, inmates who were just killed by prison guards, and prison guards get away with it. And this was just a really eye-opening film. I knew like prisons in America were bad, but Jesus Christ, the ones in Alabama, that's inhumane. I think that's actually so disgusting. I think that's third world. Like, that's like unbecoming of civilized society. Like, to put it brutally, like, to treat people like that is disgusting in every way, shape, and form. And what's also funny about this documentary is a lot of the footage is just the inmates, like why they WhatsApping like the fucking documentary makers, because the prison's so like understaffed and underfunded that these people all these inmates just have like cell phones. Like, it's just like talk. That's what I loved about it too. It's just so bizarre. You know, you never think that. And it's not like they have like those like little compact cell phones you stick up your bum. They have like the proper like iPhones and stuff. It's mad. So yeah, Alabama Solution, really fun documentary. Not fun, really. I keep saying fun because I'm not scripted. It's hard. It's hard to do this when you don't script. But really eye-opening documentary that I thought was very moving and very sad at times too. Being serious as well, being like humble, but trying to be humble, like, yeah, and be serious and being sincere. It actually did really hit home, and yeah, I think it's really fucked up. I'm laughing because I'm coping, but it's really fucked up, this documentary. What this documentary reveals. I just saw that I mixed the posters up for Come and See Me in the Good Light and. What's this one? Oh, yeah. It's Sentimental Value. Yeah, I mixed the posters up. But Sentimental Value, that's next. I liked it. I thought it was a bit pretentious at points. But it was fine. And I don't remember that much about it, so I can't comment much. Essentially, it's about this lady. There's this house. They own this house. She has house. Her dad is a film director. She's an actress, although she's more like stage. I really love that scene where she's like too nervous to go on stage and going back and forth. That's a fun scene. But her dad wants her to be the star of his next upcoming film, but she doesn't want to be, so he picks like this other actress instead, and there's a whole thing with them too. I don't remember much. I do remember. I try my best to remember as much as possible, but there you go. That's basic plot. I think it was fine. I liked it. Just nothing to write home about, and that's all I've got. That's all I have to remember, to be honest. So that's what it is. Next up, we have this one. Amelie? How the fuck do you say it? I should. This is the problem when I don't script things and I don't prepare things. I can't even pronounce fucking names. This film, little character of Rain, really cute, really fun animation. I liked it from start to finish. It felt like it was 10 minutes. It wasn't. It was like an hour something. But I when I was done watching it, I was like, fucking hell, that was short. And I was like, wait, what? An hour something? It felt like 10-20 minutes. And do you know what? If a film does that, you know it's gripped you. So I like this film a lot. Really cute. Really nice, really humble, 5-star, love it. Actually, let's actually say that this is in the A now. Let's go to the A. Next up, Voice of Hind Rajat. Where is that? Voice of Hind Rajat. Voice. Where is it? I found it. Okay, not a fun film. Very depressing film. So this is about a call center. Is it in Tunisia? I don't even remember, but a call center for people. I think it's a Tunisian film, at least. The call center is for helping people in Gaza who are getting bombed to shit by the Israelis, and fucking, yeah. I don't want to comment too much on it, but like, I feel like I can say, yeah, like, genocide, yeah, sure. I'm going to say, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, fuck it. I try my best not to be, like, too political, but I think this is a bit different. Yeah, fucking genociding the fucking Palestinians, right? And in this, there's a girl who's trapped in a car with a dead family around, and they're trying their best to help this girl who is Hind Rajab, right? Rajab. They're trying their best to help this girl and get an ambulance that is literally like 10 minutes away, and all they need to do is get clearance from the Israelis so they can move the ambulance to get the girl to safety. And that's all they need to do. It's the most simple fucking basic thing you can think of. And this is all based on a true story as well, something that actually happened. Because in the end, if you never guess, I mean, I say spoiler, but it's based on a real thing. But in the end, obviously, the girl dies, and also the ambulance that goes to try and save her, they die too. And it's all fucking tragic. And the film is very intense, very good. And I did want to put it higher, but there was something about, I think, its limited space that maybe hurt the film for me. Like, I understand that we're following these people in the call center who are helping, right? I say call center, but I guess they're a helpline, right? The helpline center or charity or whatever, them helping, and I understand seeing it from their perspective. But part of me would have maybe liked to leave that setting. I think for a film like this, we probably should have left that setting. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that wouldn't have improved the film, but that's my placing of it. Very intense film. You got to have a stomach for it, but I think it's definitely a very important film as well. So I put it there, and I apologize. It just couldn't quite make my top 10. Next up, Secret Agent. This film, Brazilian, I believe. I'm just saying this, and I don't even know. Like, it might not even be Brazilian. Let me have a look. We're going through Best International. It is! I was right! It's okay. Hey, look at that. I'm not always wrong. So, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. I like how it begins, where he pulls up to the gas station and there's the body on the ground. And the guy's like, yeah, the police haven't come. And then the police show up to, like, look at this guy. But it's about this dude. He was involved in some thing or other. And then he heads to his home. And then there's some people putting a hit on him because his wife was killed by these mob people, and then he's going to be killed by these mob people. And the last like part of the film, where he's like, the whole attempted assassination part, was super well done. I loved it. And you know, getting to know this guy, but we also flash back and forward as well with the present, where there's these two girls who are researching about the story. Yeah, I mean, overall, pretty epic film. I liked it a lot. I don't remember tons about it, but I put it this high, and it's definitely a film I would watch again. My memory just isn't what it used to be, okay? What can I say? I have watched all these films in like a month as well, so it's 50 films in a month, and I probably shouldn't comment too heavily on things when I don't remember, so I'm just going to leave it with how I ranked it in the moment. So, there you go. Next up, what do we have? We've got The Ugly Stepsister. Okay, I fucking adore body horror. I'm a big body horror fan. And so any film that does body horror and does body horror well is instantly going to get a higher ranking than it probably should. This is like a Cinderella retelling, which I thought was an excellent extra little funny angle to do this film in. And it's based on the ugly stepsister, or one of the stepsisters, who is dying for the prince's affection, so she begins doing dreadful things to her body, and some of the scenes are grim. Especially the scene where she's getting the tapeworm out. Bro. Sick. I loved it though. What can I say? I'm a big body horror fan, and that one deserved the number 10. And I think, shall I put all the 10s in? Oh no, we'll put the 5s in S, I guess. Again, ignore the whole S, A, B, C. That is all pointless, really. All that stuff's kind of pointless. What have we got next? Number 9. This might be the best documentary. Cutting Through Rocks. Is there a documentary that's higher? I don't think there is. I think this is the best one. Yeah! All these documentaries are fairly injustice, right? All the ones that were nominated for best documentary as well. They're all like injustice ones. But this one I loved. I thought the character that we follow, this lady who lives in Iran, who is not conventionally, not a conventional female by any. I mean, even by like Western standards, wouldn't be a conventional female, but definitely not in Iran. She like rides a bike and all this, and she is like a big support in the community, and she ends up running for like a council position, which she ends up winning. And obviously there is no other women who, at least in their region, who have a council position. And she goes through many things. At one point is even told she might need a sex change because they don't believe, so to make her life easier or whatever, to make it easier on them because they can't stand her. And she tries her best as well to empower other women and girls to stay in education and to, put off marriage and stuff like that. And, she fights against like child marriage and stuff like that too. So overall, a really great person, really great, interesting figure, centerpiece for the documentary. And I found it thrilling and funny and tragic, and I think it's everything a documentary should be. And also, it's so gorgeously shot, and that's overall, just all of those on top of each other, for me, made it one of the most powerful documentaries. So yeah, definitely recommend that. Number 9 on my list. Not a bad placement. This one I'm actually unsure about, but I've got Frankenstein. I think I've ranked Frankenstein a bit too high. I'm not gonna lie to you. It doesn't feel right putting it number 8. I just love. There again, though, I don't know. Is it a bit like by the numbers? Does it do anything like crazy experimental? Maybe not. But I like the Frankenstein story, and I thought Guillermo del Toro's retelling of it was really interesting. I liked how it was retold. I think I liked a lot of the gore in this was really good too. So no, fuck it, I don't care. Yeah, Frankenstein is here. I don't care. That's how it is. I thought this was great. It gripped me. Guillermo del Toro, you're a legend. I like the film. That's what it is. Frankenstein's there. I don't care. Sue me. If I had legs, I'd kick you. Psychological horror. Oh, I fucking hated this film for so many things because it's such a stressful, horrible film. I was so stressed in this entire film. But at the same time, I love that feeling. I love the adrenaline. I love it when a film gives you like adrenaline. And there's another film that really gave me adrenaline too. But this one, blood pumping. So it's about this lady. She has a big hole in her flat. Or her apartment, sorry, for you Americans. Her daughter's in the film, but we don't see her daughter throughout the entire film. It's like a character we hear but don't see. And her daughter is very picky. I think she's got some medical condition as well. Her husband isn't there. He's off working. She's also a therapist, and she's working, childcare, all of this on top of each other. Plus, obviously, her child's very sick, so she has to take her to like this little medical center every day, and her child has to meet certain goals that the doctors set. And this woman's life is just very stressful. It's one thing after another. What can I say? Enough said. And very tragic end. Next, we have a beautiful film. A film gorgeous. This film is like a picture, all right? A painting you would see in the Louvre. Okay, that's what this film does to me. Makes me feel. And I'm saying all this because I'm slowly trying to see if I can find it. There it is. Train Dreams. Oh, what a beautiful film. Beautiful. Really gorgeously shot. Really well acted. Tragic story. Again, another tragic tale about this poor guy who, he really goes out to work on like train yards and stuff and lumber, and lots of accidents, lots of racial profiling with the anti-Asian sentiment that was going on in that time period. And then the main character, of course, has some great tragedy of his own. Definitely a film I'm going to watch again. Really loved it. Like a painting. And I'm actually kind of glad I don't remember tons about it, because that means I know it's going to be a great rewatch. One battle after another. Now we're on to the top 5. So, yeah. Epic film. I think I loved it from start to finish. lots of that sort of stress, that feeling of adrenaline, that's definitely in the last like half an hour of the film. This was one I watched in cinemas, and it's one I definitely do need to rewatch before the Oscars, and I do plan to rewatch it, because this is the one I've watched the longest ago, because I watched it I watched it in cinemas when it first like dropped. Obviously, Paul Thomas Anderson film, and Leonardo DiCaprio. It's an epic. It's about the guy. He's like a sleeper cell. It's like a dystopian future where racists have won, where the racists won, and you have this other dude who had a relationship with Leonardo DiCaprio's character's wife, who was like a rebel. She was like a rebel character, a freedom fighter, and then she sort of ran away. She's actually not in most of the film. She's only in like the flashback stuff, and then they obviously have their daughter together. But the daughter, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, yeah. And then a lot of it comes down to like a chase between the main villain guy and the main villain guy. Let me think of his name. I'm really bad with the character names. Sean Penn's character, was it Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw? Oh yeah, Lockjaw. That was it. I remember now. Yeah. Chasing after the main character's daughter, and then eventually capturing her. And then, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, who is a pretty pathetic person overall, trying his best to like save her. I mean, overall, it's just an epic film that I will be watching again. Loved it. Okay, now we're getting to these films that really did something for me. Surratt. Okay, listen, I've seen a lot of hate for this film, and some people don't get it and they don't love it. But it's such a gritty. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. The film, it puts you in a different headspace, and that's what I liked about it. The music, the sound design in this film is fucking amazing. The way I just feel lost. It's like this is a really spiritual film as well. There's something about it. It just screams to my soul. But basically, it's a guy and his son. They're looking for his daughter, and they're heading to these different raves that are taking place in deserts in North Africa to look for his daughter. And that's as much as I want to say, because I think you should watch this if you haven't already. For people who have watched it, you know, right? Some of those scenes are grueling and crazy, and it's just this film. I can't describe it. I can't wrap it around my head, but it was an experience that I think still is sitting on my mind now. And even now, like thinking back to it, I remember some of the feelings I had, and it's weird when a film does that. And it definitely means I will want to watch it again, or maybe even watch it with a friend or a family member and see how they feel. Yeah. Now I'm debating whether or not I should have put this higher, because I really enjoyed it. Anyway, next up, we've got Begonia. So this is Yorgos Lanthimos, my friend, my dear lover, Yorgos Lanthimos. He, of course, directed Poor Things, and prior to that, he had other films like The Lobster, and, yeah. Great director, great filmmaker, great writer. I mean, like, all of his films I love, and he's an absurdist through and through. A lot of his films are absurdist like comedy, and I love, or absurdist, narratives, and I love absurdism too. Didn't hit me the same as Poor Things did, Begonia, but I still loved it. I really enjoyed it. I was thoroughly entertained, start to finish, laughing my head off from start to finish. There's something about his films that always are just epic. And part of me is thinking I should do this. I think I've got some Yorgos Lanthimos bias, because I like the film a lot, but I definitely not his best. But definitely not his worst. Poor Things was better, but yeah. I feel like Surratt has to go above it. I'm changing my mind last minute. My Supreme, which I think Surratt is my number 2. I don't care. I'm changing my mind last minute, but that's how it's gonna be. I think I was kind of my opinion on Surratt was kind of tempered by some negative, like reading negative reviews of it, But I don't care. I'm going to ignore them. Anyway, Marty Supreme would be my number 3 pick. Number 3, Marty Supreme. Start to finish, very stressful film. Reminded me about Uncut Gems. It felt like very similar to Uncut Gems. And then I learned it was directed by one of the brothers who did Uncut Gems, and I thought, oh, that makes sense actually. The film is about this guy who plays table tennis, and he wants to compete, and he's just an egotistical bastard who just wants to, sex crazed, dreadful person really, and all he wants to do is compete in Japan for his table tennis. And my god, this film is stressful from start to finish. Timothée Chalamet I thought was really good in the film, and normally I'm a little iffy on him here and there, but in this particular performance I liked him. He gave that smug arsehole allure. It was very good. Yeah, I mean, overall fun film. What else can I say? I've got no more words. I'm out of words. I ran out of words, guys. What can I say? Next up, we have got our number 1. And if you didn't guess already, it was An Accident. It was just an accident. It was just an accident. It is my favourite film of the year. I think, well, my favourite film of all the films that were nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, it's about this guy. He works in like a garage or an auto shop or whatever you want to call it, and he hears this dude with a peg leg, and he thinks this guy, or not peg leg, but like a squeaky amputated foot, and he's called Peg Leg, the torturer, because he used to torture people during the regime. And so this guy kidnaps him and wants to figure out if he's definitely the guy, the torturer. So he ends up meeting all this like cast of characters who he hopefully can help confirm whether or not this guy is or isn't the guy who tortured him and other people. And it's a hilarious, tragic, human. Like there's so many great things about this film, and I'm just gonna say, just watch it. That's all I can say. It's set in Iran. It's a French film, though, I believe. French produced, but I think most of it was filmed in Iran too, which filmed illegally as well. Iranian filmmakers are something else. They're crazy. They'll make their films in the most dire conditions when they know they're illegal and they know they can go to jail for them. Yeah, and I like this, especially the ending where the dude's tied to the tree, like all of that. Oh, it's good. And oh no, the proper ending, the ending where he's in the house and you hear that. Oh, dude, sound design as well, man. Yeah, this film was. I just loved it on so many levels. Definitely one I will be revisiting several times. So there you go. I changed it last minute to have Sarat as number 2, but I think It Was Just an Accident. Still beats Sarat for me. I think I had more of a profound experience. I just can't put it into words as much as I could with Sarat. But there again, I couldn't really with Sarat. Sarat was like a feeling, whereas this actually like made me think about things, you know. And I liked the mystery behind like whether or not this guy was even the dude who's guilty of these crimes. So that's kind of why I've put Elevated. It Was Just an Accident. Anyway, now I've got the shorts. I'll try and make this brief. We'll start off with the worst one in my opinion, or the one I found. You know what? I'll say this about the shorts. I don't think any of them were bad. It really just comes down to like my personal opinion. But the last one, the one in last place for me is The Devil Is Busy. Just didn't find it that interesting. It's about like the day-to-days of this like abortion clinic, or I guess it's a what you call it, Planned Parenthood or whatever, or whatever it's called. This like clinic that does women's health, but the main thing it's known for is obviously abortions, and we're following this lady who runs the security in the place. And I thought it was kind of interesting, I guess, and I don't know, I just didn't find it that interesting. I thought the subject matter was a bit dull for me. So, but I think it was well done in terms of a documentary. So that's all it comes down to. Then we have All the Empty Rooms. Very depressing, very heavy documentary, but similar to The Devil's Busy, I just didn't find it like presented in a particularly that interesting way. And maybe I'm just so tired of like the school shooting stuff, just because it's so like, like how many, in some ways the point of this film, because the guy literally says like he's tired of like, you know, like they're tired like reporting on school shootings and doing that, and so he just like is taking pictures of the rooms to show, and he kind of says like there's like a cycle where it's like school shooting happens, you talk about it, you say how sorry we are, people talk about reforming gun laws, and then the same thing happens again in a few months, and the cycle just repeats itself, and nobody makes any real change, any lasting change, and nothing happens, you know. And I kind of almost agree, like, I agree with that sentiment, but I think the film is part of that too, and I just don't, I don't know. It's just kind of like, fucking fix your shit, America. I don't know. That's how I feel, but yeah, just not for me. Just not for me. But it was fine. It was fine. It was interesting. Perfectly Estrangedness. Yeah, it's cute. It's some donkeys going to an observatory. It's like cinematography wise, it's such a beautiful film. But it does feel staged, you know, like it feels like someone was leading the donkeys with a carrot, you know. And that's what something about it. There's like not much substance there, really, is it? It's kind of profound, like the donkeys looking up at the observatory, and when it's like casting the light into the sky. I mean, that's like all beautifully. It looks beautiful, but I don't know. I just feel weird putting it any higher because ultimately it's just some donkeys. It's some beautiful footage of some donkeys and some observatory. Yeah, I don't know. Retirement Plan, very cheeky, very funny, like Irish film. I liked it. Some of the animation was unique. Not what I expected. Very like rough, but not in a bad way. Like it looked rough around the edges, but not in a terrible way. Again, it just comes down to like I preferred some of the other films. The Girl with the Who Cried Pearls. This is a fun like ugly. This like it's ugly. The animation is ugly. It's like stop motion animation. Very kind of almost like Coraline, kind of big eyes, that kind of sort of art style, gothic in a way, perhaps, I don't know. And it's just about this story this old man says about this when he was younger, how he became so rich, and how he found all these this girl who lived next door to where he lived who would cry, and when she cried, she'd cry pearls. And yeah, I found it fun. I thought it was a fun little documentary. I liked it a lot. Next up, we've got the Three Sisters documentary, animations, I should say. Three Sisters. Where are we got now? Yeah, we'll go A for this. Three Sisters. Yeah, really cheeky, fun little 2D animation thing of these three sisters who live on an island, and then this captain comes, and all the women are like trying to impress the captain and try and be with the captain. Yeah, I thought it was a fun film. I thought it was funny, cheeky. No dialogue in it either. It's all just like sounds, grunts and sounds and stuff, which I always think's really fun when a film's able to make like a story you understand and a story that's fun without using any dialogue. I think that's always a nice challenge, and yeah, I liked it. Next up, we've got Children No More Were and Are Gone. There we are, this one. Yeah, very powerful documentary from, similar to like Mr. Nobody against Putin. This is like a war film from the other side's perspective, but another side's perspective, not who are the victims necessarily, but somebody who understands or actually is opposed to what their government is doing. So this is about a bunch of people who simply just hold a memorial. That's what they do. A memorial for all the kids who die in Gaza. I don't even think they did it for like adults. They literally just did it for like the kids who died. And then even still, they were met with hostility, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. Very powerful documentary. I don't like to say I liked it, but I think it was an interesting perspective. I think it's just that the other films for me were just a bit better in their own way. Anyway, moving on. I always find it tricky when we documentaries with fucking heavy subjects where I'm like, why have I not put this number one? Like, I do feel like there is part of me that's like, oh, I should put it number one because it's an important subject, and it is an important subject. But you know, I guess I'm basing on how it's been presented and how I found that entertaining. Did it move me as much as something else would? You know. it's all arbitrary. This one really was one though. Butterfly or Papillion. So this is about a Olympic swimmer kid. He's from I forget which country, but he goes to compete in the Olympics in France or Germany. Anyway, the Nazis come around and he's put into a concentration camp. Very sad story. Really beautiful animation. The sort of watercolors of it. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. I do feel like I should put it higher, but we'll go with what I said. Beautiful film, recommend it. Forever Green. This is just a cute film with a bear and a tree, and they're good friends. And then the bear becomes a troublesome teen, and he pisses off to go eat junk food, and then some bad things happen. The tree sacrifices himself to save his bear friend, and then all is well in the end. It's a cute film. What can I say? It's a cute ass film. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I'm putting it there. There we go. Number 7. Number 6. Two people exchanging saliva. Absurdist film. It's basically this film where you don't kiss. Kissing is a prohibited thing, and nobody brushes their teeth. And of course, it's based in France. Of course, and nobody brushes their teeth. And you pay for things by slapping people. It's an absurdist, crazy film. But I really adored this. Well, this was the first one I watched, and I thought it would be the best. But then I saw some other ones that were better, and it's possible if I watched them in a different order, I might actually have thought this was the best. But Two People Exchanging Saliva, I thought was a really fun documentary. Really liked it a lot. Documentary. Really fun short film. The black and white as well. I mean, the black and white was fine. Yeah, black and white was, it was fine. It was in black and white. Yeah, it's alright. But yeah, I just like the absurdist nature of it. And also they kill people putting them in boxes and chucking them in a big pile. That was funny too. Yeah, I like this one a lot. And actually, even though I watched it ages ago, I remember quite a lot of it, which probably is quite telling for the film. Butcher Stain. Okay, so this actually is another Palestine-Israel film, but this one is from the perspective of a Palestinian worker within Israel, which I think is an interesting perspective. And essentially, there's these posters in the break room of all the hostages that were taken by Hamas. And somebody keeps pulling down the posters, allegedly. And a bunch of the workers accuse the main character. Is it Amir? I don't even remember his name. Okay, so I'm not gonna try and guess his name. But the main guy, the Muslim Palestinian guy, or the Palestinian guy anyway. He might not be Muslim, but he's Palestinian. He's probably Muslim. But the Palestinian guy, they always accuse the Palestinian guy of doing it, and he also, in the same breath, has some issues with his family. His wife has moved on, and he obviously has a son that he wants to be there more for, but he has to work all these hours, going on these long bus journeys to be a butcher. And he's a butcher on minimum wage as well, so he's a minimum wage butcher working in Israel, trying his best to get by. And he gets accused of this poster thing, and so yeah. And then the twist as well, I think the twist was kind of funny in a way, but also very sad indeed. And yeah, this one moved me quite a bit, so I put it there. Next up, we'll do the top 4. Let's do the top 4 in the S. So, A Friend of Dorothy, hilarious from start to finish. Basically, a guy kicks his football over an old woman's thing, comes into her house, she's got all these stage plays and stuff, and then befriends her, right? And he's obviously gay, and he's interested in doing live performance stage plays, and yeah. Honestly, really funny film. I really liked it. Kind of do hope it wins. I don't think it will win. Probably too British. Very British film, that's for sure. But I liked it a lot, so I put it there. Next up, we've got Armed Only with a Camera. The story of... I really should remember his name. Oh no, the life and death of Brent Renard. Renard? Is that how you say it? I remember. Renard. Anyway, yeah. Very moving moving film, moving documentary, start to finish. I was moved. Is the best way I can put it. This guy's a war journalist, so he's gone to many hotbed places. He went to like Afghanistan. He went to like all the Haiti as well, and all these places that were going through travesties. And the last place he went to was Ukraine, where the Russian forces ended up shooting him. And they show this in a very brutal way. Like, you see his body, you see the gore of it, you see the brutality of it, and it's his brother who's kind of directing a lot of this. And then we also have his funeral, the guy's funeral, and through the funeral they kind of almost flash back, where we go through his life and how different stages and different like tragedies and wars that he's gone through, and all the journalism he's done throughout his life until his death. And I think that's what I loved about it. I think it was framed in a really interesting way, and it's about this, a guy who really didn't need to die, like killing, and they tie it together with this theme of, well, we shouldn't fucking kill journalists, guys. Killing like journalism is really important, especially in war zones. And journalism is a dangerous profession if you're a war journalist, especially because documenting these things, documenting these atrocities, is really important. I think back to 20 Days in Mariupol with these filmmakers in Mariupol, where they captured all that stuff with what the Russians were doing. And you see like the misinformation and the bullshit and the lies that the Russians would then do. But without that footage, many people in the West, or many Russians as well, but many Russians and even people in the West would just believe the Russian narrative. And that's why like journalists are really important. And fuck, I feel so sorry for this guy, man. It really hit home, really did. I don't know why, but it did. Okay, it just did. Next up, more lighter note, Jane Austen's period drama. Fucking hilarious little comedy short film, start to finish. It's like it's almost like pitched like a Bridgerton parody, where the main girl is looking to get in the pants of the main guy, and they've all got silly names like Mrs. Fanny Patch. I don't know if that's actually a name. That's not a name. He's called Mr. Dickley. Yeah, Mr. Dickley. Yeah, Mr. Dickley, and what are they all called? Let me see the names. Yeah, Miss Dorothy, Dickie, JJ. Wait, JJ. Wait, what? Oh no, I'm looking at fucking Friend of Dorothy. It's Jane Austen's period drama. Let me look at the characters. Yeah, Mr. Dickley, Lavinia. Yeah, Father Talbot, Mrs. Bits, Dr. Bangley. Yeah, very funny names. Hilarious from start to finish. I thought this was brilliant, and I could see this one winning. I think this one probably will win. And then my favourite one of them all, though, is The Singers. There's something about it. It's just like some guys in a bar, and they have like a bet on like who's the best singer. And the sound design in this film is what's got me. Okay, the sound is like listening to this film, because I watched it at home, on my laptop. But so I had my headphones in. The sound design in this film is so gorgeous. That's what I love about it. Maybe that's such a weird thing to give it a ranking on, is sound design. Sound design alone, I'm giving this film high praise. But what can I say? I am. That's what's happening here. I absolutely adored it. So there you go. That's all 50 films ranked from best to worst. Obviously, I've separated the shorts and the features there. Sorry that I was a bit rambly and not exactly on point at every part of this video. We could go for which films I think should win each category. We could do that. So let me just change screens real quick. There we are. So we can look at this. So, Best Picture. What do I think should get Best Picture out of these? Kind of So based on my thing, let's just whip up this real quick. And what we'll do is we'll whip up. Ignore that. I was doing a video. Okay, it doesn't matter. I can just go back to this, yeah. So I guess it would be Marty Supreme. Based on my ranking, I think I probably would say Marty Supreme should win Best Picture. Doesn't feel right, but yeah, I'd probably be happy with most of these. The only one I wouldn't be happy with winning is F1. I don't think F1 deserves it. Don't think it was that great. I don't think maybe actually Hamnet, because it was only the story that really got me down with Hamnet. Which one do I think's going to win, though? I think it's probably going to be One Battle After Another. And actually, I'd be happy with it being One Battle After Another as well. Best Directing. Probably One Battle After Another. Best Actor in a Leading Role. Who do I think's going to get it? Ooh. Michael B. Jordan, maybe? I feel like maybe, yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Maybe. Would they give another Oscar to DiCaprio? Possibly. Timothée Chalamet is the new DiCaprio, so maybe they give him one early. Wagner Moura and The Secret Agent. That would be an interesting one, but I don't think it'll be him. Jesse Hamnet. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Song Sung Blue. Kate Hudson. Oh, yeah. Okay. And Emma Stone in Begonia. I don't think it's going to go to Emma Stone because I think she already got one for Poor Thing, so I don't see that happening. I don't think it will go to the Song Sung Blue. I don't think it will go to Sentimental Value. I think it will go to one of these two, personally. Probably Jessie Buckley, yeah. Best Actor in a Supporting Role. I think that has to go to Sean Penn, surely. But let's have a look. We got Stellan Skarsgård. I can't say that, I'm sorry. Delroy Lindo. Jacob Elordi. Jacob Elordi. In Frankenstein. He plays the creature, yeah. I think that's a good performance. I'd give that one. Yeah. We got Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Sentimental Value. Weapons as Gladys. Sinners as Annie. Which one was Annie? I'm trying to think. Wait. Okay, yeah. Nah, I don't think you should go to Annie. One Battle After Another. That's so weird. Why she's been nominated but not the daughter? Huh. Weird. Anyway, I don't think I'm in the right headspace for this part of the video. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just kind of going through the nominations, but yeah, I ranked them. That's enough. I apologize. This video is very messy, but there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.